Hey guys, so today I'm going to be talking a little bit about Aristotle. A lot of his dealings, his practices, his teachings, and his writings. But to give you a little time frame, Aristotle lived between 384 and 322 BCE. He studied alongside Plato for around 20 years. His philosophies, his writings, his teachings, his ethics, all of them are strongly based on the idea that in order to learn something, you have to go through it. You have to have hands-on experience to learn something. So this idea is called realism, which is what his educational philosophies are all about. In numerous ways, his ideas have influenced education. He strongly believed in the importance of education and believed that we should have free education, which I solely believe too. I believe that everyone should have the capabilities and the freedom of free education, and that's what Aristotle believed. So I guess in a way we have him to thank for free education today. His ethical theory is expressed through many aspects, and in this he believed in virtue, and he believed that there were two types of virtue, one moral and one intellectual. This pretty much deals with the good life, how we feel that life should be, what our happiness means to us, and I guess we can pretty much relate that to the way we look at things today. What makes us happy? What makes our life a happy life? And Aristotle brought forth all kinds of ideas based on that. He explains the relationship between ethics and politics and how they interwork together. They're not two different entities, they're one and the same. This goes for like an example I gave in the handout, prayer in school. Some people believe that prayer in school should not be accepted. Some people do. That is politics, but it's also ethics because it deals with religion, it deals with beliefs, and all these things kind of work together to make an idea, and that in itself is politics and ethics. So I completely agree with Aristotle in that aspect. They are one and the same, and they do work together. Another idea, in his realist point of view, education is something that we shouldn't have to fight for. It's something that we should be given. It's something that we should do, but in order to do that, we have to go through it. And that's what realism is all about, and that's what Aristotle was all about. And I put a quote inside the handout which explains the motto in which he lived by, and this explains how we have to go through it to get to it in a way. We can't just be taught something through words. We have to be taught in experience. So I guess that really contributes today because I know in my own experience I've learned a lot by having to go through something, not necessarily what someone's told me. Oh, don't do this because you want, you're going to regret it. No, I had to go through it to learn that. So the golden mean of life, the golden mean of happiness, all of that is broken down into the two parts of virtue that Aristotle talks about, one moral and one intellectual. People have to really understand what this means in order to grasp something from it. So, what is happiness? What makes you happy? There's two different types of happiness, if you want to look at it that way. It's intellectual, it's moral, it's all those things combined together is what happiness is. But you have to know where your happiness comes from. And Aristotle teaches this all throughout history, all throughout his life, and through his writings, and through his ethics, and through his styles and philosophies. This is why I like Aristotle, because he's so real. He is a realist philosopher. So pretty much he's just a real guy that existed and taught many things and believed in free educated and voted for it. And, he was a spokesperson for free education. He's a great person that existed that we have to contribute for those ideas, and I'm truly thankful for that.